Are you excited for SkyFactory Bedrock Edition? I am. Yes, this is a little preview, guys, of what I've been working on the last couple of weeks. Yes, we just recently got Minecraft, the beta 1.12.0.9 or whatever it is. And yes, I can finally show you what I've been working on because the previous update actually broke custom blocks. They weren't showing and it just caused issues. So I couldn't really show you this. So what I've gone ahead and done is put all my stuff kind of in a bit of an order here so you can kind of get a gist of what's going on. Obviously, this isn't the map. The map will actually be a void and you will spawn on a tree, you know, like normal SkyFactory, and that's pretty much that. I'm just going to quickly talk about how the twerking for tree mechanics is going to work. Obviously, on the Java edition, you can twerk for trees and plants and stuff, and they grow. It just speeds up the ticking, basically. I've added a mechanic that makes you fart. Yes. As you can see, when I sit down or sneak and stand back up, it gets disappeared. Or it vanishes or whatever. So the way I've done this is basically, if I press Q, I can get them. And what these are actually bone fragments. Now, it's basically a part of the bone meal. I've done this on purpose so you can't spam this so much. And basically, 2 of these will equal some bone meal. And sorry, I was looking at fences. I'll explain why. Because we had a bit of an issue before I started recording. So yeah, that obviously makes some bone meal. And then you can obviously bone meal your sapling or your crops at the start. And the reason also I done it so it disappears after a while when you stand back up is because if you're on your void world and you're trying to get around, you don't really want to get filled up with bone meal, do you? So I thought it makes sense. And also the fart noises are going to annoy you eventually as well, right? As well as the particles. I haven't tested this multiplayer, so hopefully it should work. But I imagine it will because it's set to all players. Anyway, as you may notice, there's no command blocks here as well. Just point that out. This is going to show you what 1.12 is actually capable now, or, you know, in Bedrock Edition. It's getting even more like modded now, which is brilliant. So yeah, like I say, I've been working on this quite a while, so hopefully, yes, you're going to like the video for me and support me, because, yeah, that's what we do on YouTube now. Anyway, so we are on the crafting table, as you can see, and obviously I'm in creative, but when you're actually in the crafting table, you are going to notice some random things here, like all these new blocks, look. So if I actually hop into game mode S, you're going to notice now, I'm actually on my crafting table on survival, look. And if I go down the list, you're actually going to see some of these new recipes. Now this is cool, but it's not perfect. It only shows what blocks and entities you can craft. It will not show items, unfortunately. Unless, if you actually look, for example, when I've made so you can craft the Elytra, you can see there's new items here. Batwing, a Draconium ingot. Yeah, they're not in the game. They're used to craft this. This is quite an end game kind of ore, if you like. And yeah, these are, you have to kill bats. Bats are quite hard to find on Skyblock, right? Or SkyFactory even. Or in a void, if you know what I mean. But the only good thing about this really is that you can actually see how to craft the machines, which is really cool. So I'm going to leave it like that anyway for now, but I'm going to have to make a recipe book for some of the missing items, okay? Obviously, there's a lot to learn here. There's going to be new recipes. So you could craft each of the saplings. I thought that was quite convenient. And you might have noticed you could craft gravel, a bit of grass block look, and this weak torch. Yes, there's a new torch in the game. It's a bit random, but it made sense. When I was testing at the start, there was like no way to get a torch. So I needed to come up with a new recipe to make a new weak torch, basically, at the start. Anyway, so we got all these new blocks, obviously, or these new, like, I don't know what you call them, points of interest, as the villagers call them, with village and pillage. So I thought, why the hell not use these for my map, basically, because they're new, and you have to craft them anyway. So, you know, it's another bit of a grind, if you know what I mean. So we've got the stone cutter. The stone cutter is very useful in this, obviously, this map, because a lot of my blocks on here are compressed. Now, the way you decompress them is by chucking them in here on this interface. So I got here some compressed sugarcane, and if I go in here, you're going to see it will turn it back to sugarcane. okay? And obviously to compress things, you just compress it like that. As simple as that. Now you could do rotten flesh, you can do cactus, as you can see. These two are very unique because they actually drop their items when they break. So please bear that in mind. And obviously just to turn it back again, vice versa, pretty straightforward, like so, okay? And you can also use this to cut them up if you don't want them in block form. But also compressed blocks are really useful because if you play in the SkyFactory, the idea is to build factories and grind. This is perfect for it. It's like the best companion for the map, if you know what I mean. So anyway, the smoker. So we got poisonous potatoes, we got rotten flesh, and we got this new golden fish. Now this little fella, you cook it up, you'll get yourself a lovely gold ingot. Now this fella is very, very rare in fishing. It's got a 1 out of 100% chance of catch. It's pretty rare. Poisonous potatoes are pretty useful, and rotten flesh as well. So poisonous potatoes will actually give you gunpowder, which is pretty good. Bit of a random recipe, my brain's weird. And rotten flesh gives you leather, pretty self-explanatory. The campfire, on the other hand, gives you some interesting things. So if you put, obviously you cook meat on it still, but you could put saplings on it, and you can also put oak leaves. Now, I'll let that do its magic, and we'll come back to it. So I've separated these two, okay? So these are compressed and double compressed, okay? Block variants, okay? So we've got sugarcane, red sand, cobblestone, sand, gravel, gas tier, and the compressed rotten flesh and the compressed cactus you've seen earlier. All of these can go inside the furnace, okay? So if I take this, for example, and chuck it in, oops, you'll see it will start cooking eventually. But these just popped off, look. So we've got ourselves a dead bush. Now, the dead bush is very, very valuable because if I look at sapling, it's going to tell me it's required of the crafting table. But all the saplings require dead bushes, and then they get wrapped up in whatever you want. For example, the jungle is vines, so you can get vines from the leaves, okay? Pretty straightforward, it all makes sense. So gold nugget from a compressed piece of sand. And obviously, I'm going to add the rest of the recipes. All of these are functionable now, but obviously if I show you them all, the video will be about 4 hours long. And then next, we got the blast furnace, okay? So this is a bit more expensive to craft, so this all makes sense. And in my eyes, the furnace isn't the most powerful heat source in the game, right? So blast furnace is like the next tier up, so this kind of makes sense to me. So we've got triple, quadruple, cobblestone, and sugarcane. Dragon egg. And what on earth is this thing, Dan? That is a plastic sheet. Now you need that to craft a lot of things actually. The couple of machines, well, a couple of the machines, and mainly for the very start of the cobblestone generator. As you can see, it's right there. But it's got to be tempered, okay? So you make a craft, you craft a plastic one, and then you've got to cook it in the blast furnace for it to be heat proof, okay? I don't know, my brain's weird, but it kind of makes sense. It's all part of the grind, okay? But yeah, that's pretty much that. I hope that all makes sense. I can change this and add more stuff, so I might need to do a bit of beta testing. If you actually join me on the Discord and you've got this beta, possibly let me know in the comment section. I will possibly, at the end of this week, maybe be releasing this as a beta if you want to try it for a laugh. I don't know. Let me know. Anyway, we got a couple of new mobs here. Well, they're not new, they're just variants. So we've got a baby skeleton. Yes, this fellow will actually shoot, as you can see here, poisonous arrows. I'm just going to clear my hotbar. There we go, because it frustrates me. Yes, he will shoot poisonous arrows at you, so be careful. He runs really, really fast. And we got a baby creeper, if you could just see him as well. Again, they both run very fast. And the skeleton will actually wear the armor, like the skeletons normally do. But both of these have different loot tables, so I'm not going to tell you what they are. Find out when you download it and play it. Also, I've put here behind the cave spider spawn egg and the bat. Now, the both of them drop different things, but the cave spider especially actually spawns naturally now, okay? It's got a 70% chance of spawning, so it's not 100% like, you know, it's going to be quite uncommon, if you like. And the bat I've put there as well because it obviously drops bat wings and a couple of other different stuff. So next, we got some custom plants here. Now, I've actually called these spores because, one, they are kind of like the chorus flower or plant or whatever you want to call it. It's the best I could do because we can't actually do transparent blocks yet, unfortunately. So I've come up with using the model of the chorus plant, basically. But all of these have got a loot table, and that's the seed behind it, as you can see. So you might have guessed already. We've got coal, redstone, emerald, quartz, diamond, and this draconium, which is my made-up kind of metal ore thing, and lapis, okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and break all these, and we'll see what we get at the end. So as you can see, this is all I've got. Not really a lot. I think I need to tweak the loot tables to that a bit. But as you can see, coal obviously gives you coal. Redstone should give you redstone, but it gives you the seeds as well. Emerald should give you emerald nuggets. Yes, I've made diamond and emerald nuggets, as you can see. There's a draconium nugget as well. And when you wrap them, well, when you put them in 3x3, they obviously make the ingot form. And lapis is obviously for that. And then you can actually get quartz as well. Basically, what is so special about these are you can't actually plant them on grass, look. As you can see, I'm clicking now. I can only plant them on gravel. The draconium can only be planted on, not gravel, endstone. And the quartz can only be planted on, you guessed it, soul sand. It kind of makes sense. It's cool, man. I like it. But as you can see, I kind of need to tweak the drop rates here, as you can see. They're a bit harsh. I mean, I don't want to make them too OP, but yeah. You craft these in the crafting table. Pretty straightforward. Seeds and whatever the ingredient you want to use is. Easy. Next is the custom items I've added. Oh, so here we go. So we've got the bat wing. We've got some spider goo. We've got plastic. That's the plastic sheet. A crook. Well, it's actually a wooden crook, okay? Draconium block. Draconium ingot. A bone dagger. A draconium sword. An enriched draconium sword. A combined wooden crook. The farting stuff. The bone fragment. The draconium nugget. The diamond nugget. And the emerald nugget. Okay, not too much, but it's enough, I think. I could add more. Now, I'm going to take this sword because this is very cool. I like this a lot. So when you actually equip it, it tells you right there what is actually on it. So it's got 7 attack damage and the holder burns in sunlight. Yes, I've done this on purpose. So if I go out here, ouch. I think that's pretty cool, right? I mean, basically, you got to think about it. It's a cheap sword to make. It's just a stick and some bones, pretty much. Obviously, you can get that really fast, and if it's got 7 attack damage, that's quite high. But what I want to do is just summon in, I don't know, some pigs, for example, and show you that this actually is, you know, I'm holding this like a sword, and it will actually take durability, look. And as you can see, I've changed a lot of mobs, different drop rates, as you can see, and their loot. So that pig just dropped some podzol, as you can see. So, all in all, pretty cool. This draconium sword, again, quite high attack damage, but it doesn't burn you in the sunlight. Gives you a bit of a speed boost whenever you equip it, look. And a bit of a health boost, as you can see. Not crazy OP, but it is a pretty endgame sword, okay? And again, this has durability, as you can see. Probably one-shot him, yeah. Next is the enriched draconium sword. Now this gives you even more health, more speed, and it actually damages the mobs with the wither effect, which is pretty cool. And if I, again, summon a pig, it will take durability. I tried to make it so if you held it, you could fly, but it didn't work. I mean, I could give you the effect of levitation, but that's just not the same in my eyes. Now the crooks, these are quite special, okay? So I'm gonna have to hop into game mode C for this. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna keep them yet, but it's a bit weird, okay? So imagine you got a tree, right? And this is the best thing I could think of. Whenever you hold this, it gives you 1 attack damage, which is absolutely terrible. But the idea of this is when you hold it, you can just walk up to leaves and they break. But they will actually drop their drops, which is pretty cool. I mean, it's not the greatest feature, but I feel like this one might be alright because you get a jump boost. So if you imagine I've got a tree So I got my leafy tree. I can just walk up to this and kind of break it. Do you understand what I mean? It's not, like I say, it's not perfect. Trying to do it in third person is really hard though. But I'm sure you kind of understand where I'm going with this. It might come in use. You might have to kind of change up the way you grow trees. Possibly put like a kind of scaffolding thing around it. But it could come in use. So these do actually have a durability as well. So if I hit it, look, you're going to see the durability will go extremely fast. Especially with the wooden one. Because they're super cheap to make. As you've seen. Doesn't make the breaking sound, unfortunately. But anyway, that is pretty much that for now. All these other items are basically solely for crafting. This is like a end game block, as you can see. It's animated as well, which is pretty cool. And that is the draconian block. And you can actually turn that back into ingots and vice versa. Okay, so next we're on to some of the machines. Now, these are cobblestone generators. These are sand generators, okay? Now, that being that you need cobble and sand quite a lot in this map because obviously that's how you get a lot of your minerals. So basically what I've done here is hooked all these up with hoppers, and as you can see, this is what they kind of drop. I've been on here for a while, not too long, but this one is quite over full, but bear in mind it is only compressed cobblestone, it's not double or triple, okay? It's not that much, okay? Same sort of values go for sand, look, it's the same sort of thing. But again, sand, you just upgrade with whatever's around it, as you can see. The last one is actually shulker shells, okay? And the way you can actually remove these entities, okay, all these machines, is just by using a little lever. It will swallow up your lever, and then you'll actually kill the entity, and it will drop its form back, okay? And then you can replace it. And yes, these are flush, man, like proper flush. I made a video about this the other day. I found a way out how to actually do that. So all my machines and blocks are like pretty much block shaped now, which is nice. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. I think that works really, really well. And I can just give these away, look. And it's pretty cheap to make a lever. It's not like the end of the world. But at least you get your item back and you can easily move them around, if you know what I mean, which is cool. So that stupid fart, man. Oh, it's hard to do recording with that fart on. There we go. Obviously, like you've seen there, it just says tier 2 and stuff. Pretty self-explanatory. Okay, so next we're going to go on to the cobblestone miner. Now this, as you can see, will mine blocks for you, that being the cobblestone, hence the name. So this will actually just break cobblestone for you in your generator, and it will actually have its own inventory. Unfortunately, I cannot change it from saying unknown. I don't know how to. If you know, let me know in the comment section. But yes, this will collect cobblestone. And if I actually just kill it, which is probably collected that. There we go. Like so. You'll get the item back. And I just wanted to show you, you can actually siphon from it. So if I grab some cobble here, put this in, it will actually suck that through. Okay, which is pretty cool. All in all, pretty cool feature. It's a bit of a cheaper variant of the cobblestone generator kind of thing at the start. Okay, that's solely what that's for. Next, we got these two things, which is a lava tank and a water tank. Yes, I haven't quite finished the textures yet. I'm currently working on it. It's empty, but it's not, okay? Bear that in mind. Basically, what these do are infinite sources of water and lava. Never run out. Yes, they're quite overpowered, I know, but they're quite hard to make, trust me. I thought about it. And lastly, this is it, guys. We have got all of the blocks that are compressed in one line now. So as you can see, you can read all that. I don't really need to read it because it's going to be a lot of C's. But this weak torch, I wanted to just talk about this. It's basically a cheaper variant, like I said, of a torch, basically. So if I don't know if I'm going to be able to change it to night because I've set it to always day. Oh no, it should be all right. You're going to notice if I kind of go over here a bit, it does let off a bit of light, okay? Again, it's not perfect. It's not a torch shape, I know, and it's just floating there. But again, it's the best I can do because we can't really do transparent blocks, okay? As you can see, it's saying it's like a full block, but that's the best I could do. That's like a weak torch. As you notice, this actually lets off light as well, which is pretty cool. And then this is where the infinity block is. But currently it's a barrier block because I don't want to show you it because it's so awesome. Trust me, you're going to love it. If you follow me on Twitter, I'm sure you kind of work out what I've kind of done there. I'm sure. Anyway, guys, that is pretty much it. I've talked for so long, my voice is dying, and I'm going to leave it there. Thanks so much for watching, and let me know what you think of it in the comment section. I'm DanRobzProbz. Take care, and see you next time. Bye! Oh, and by the way, I have changed fishing, mob loot, the traders, and we have got a new villager, by the way. I forgot to mention all that. But anyway, bye!